Jude Bellingham has reportedly chosen Real Madrid to be his next destination, with negotiations now going to start with Borussia Dortmund in the next coming days. Look, G, we've talked about this before. What do you think of this rumor that Jude Bellingham has chosen Real Madrid?
Europe should be terrified. They should be shaking in their boots, going home in their beds, and just crying themselves to sleep. Catalonia should be looking up and just asking, why, God, why? Pedri and Gavi are just shitting their jocks because now they're going to soon have to play the real best young midfielder in the world, not the fraud Gavi, who should have never won that award over Jude Bellingham ever in his life, and he knows it. And Jude's going to get it back in blood. Soon as Barcelona have to run up against what is going to be the best young midfield of all time of Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, and Shumani. I mean, that sounds almost too good to be real, but that's a real possibility that's going to happen. I mean, realistically, Barca might never win another trophy, bruv. I mean, it's locked up. Look, the league title is locked up for the next 20 years. There's nothing they can do to get a better midfield than that. And every El Clasico, they might not get past the halfway mark of the field. Jude Bellingham is going to run nightmares all over Catalonia. And it's just fitting because that's what Real Madrid do. We go out there, we get the best players in the world. And when Barca can't even break the piggy bank to spend 10 million because they're a bankrupt club, they sold their souls. But look, it's a good day. We're always linked to the best players in the world because the best players in the world want to come to Real Madrid. We're able to offer them something no one else can, and that's guaranteed winning. We can show them our legends. I mean, no one else can show legends like Real Madrid. Be a Galactico. Have your names written in the stars. And that's what Jude Bellingham wants. He's a smart man, and who can blame him?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is not particularly surprising. And I've said this before. Do Real Madrid need Jude Bellingham? Not really, because next season they're going to be loaded in the
I
midfield.
don't
They
care.
they have Shumani, they have Camavinga who can play in the midfield. They have Cruz, they have Modric. But let's think about this in the long term. Cruz and Modric aren't going to be there past this season, and you have potentially this is your one chance to get Jude Bellingham. If you wait until next season when Cruz and Modric are gone, there are no guarantees. There's never any guarantees in football. So Real Madrid, they know this. They have to go ahead and go get Jude Bellingham. That's exactly what they are going to do. And Real Madrid, this is exactly what they do. They have the chance to go get the best players in the world. This is what they do. This is what they always have done. So this is not surprising to me. It's not surprising that Jude wants to go to Real Madrid. And it's not surprising that even though midfield is not the position of need for Real Madrid, that Florentino Perez is saying, I'm going to go break the bank for this guy. Because if they wait another season, who knows what could happen? Liverpool could become, back in the Champions League and then they could contend for him. And we know he loves Liverpool. It's a club that he is fond of because of Steven Gerrard. If Real Madrid want to get Jude Bellingham, they want to cement their midfield trio to be, for the next, 15 years potentially.
15,
This
20
is
years.
this is what they have to do. They have to go get Jude Bellingham because, like you said, a midfield trio of Shumani, Camavinga, and Jude Bellingham for the next 10, 15 years, maybe even 20 years. My God, the footballing world should be scared. The footballing world should be scared because
I I've
you
said
you
it.
can't build a better midfield than that.
I've said it before, when there was early rumors that that would be one of the best midfields we will ever see. I mean, immediately you just think of it. It's the perfect midfield. I think that's a midfield that can easily contend with Cruz, Modric, Casemiro. And then look, that could be slanderous, but that's how good those three players are, and we're getting them at the perfect time
When they're
where
young,
they're going to be able to
they're not even close
develop
to their prime.
together
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we got Cruz and Modric when they were in their primes, and Casemiro, we were able to, get him young, and he kind of grew into what he is.
Mm-hmm.
But we have all three. We already have two of these guys, but we'd get all three coming together. They're not, none of them are in their prime yet.
Not even
They're
close.
going to be able to grow into their prime together, and that is terrifying because, like you said, Modric and Cruz are having their last dance season next season. That's going to be their final one with the club, and it's going to be something. Oh, we have almost an embarrassment of riches in the midfield because we have
Mm-hmm.
Fede Valverde,
Oh
but
yeah, you forgot about him.
it's tough to see what's going to happen because what happens if Fede Valverde. But I think if they want, he'll be that guy. The right. I mean, we won a Champions League with him playing the wing, so I mean that's something impossible. Look, the problem not gonna look as, "Oh my god, we have too many good players." I mean, who has that type of thing? Look at Manchester City. I mean, this is what we have to do to stay at the top level, to have incredible depth, and I
Hmm.
don't think signing Jude Bellingham is gonna make Valverde, "Oh, I wanna leave now." He'll be
Yeah,
happy to stay on the club. I mean, he likes winning, right? I mean,
yeah,
he's gonna enjoy winning, and that's what this midfield is gonna do. I can't think of a better midfield, man. Like,
yeah.
it's incredible.
I mean, this signing makes perfect sense for Real Madrid. Kroos and Modric are about to enter their last dance. Next season will be their final season with the club. Absolutely legendary careers, especially with Real Madrid, but just in general, legendary careers, legendary players. But now they're going to just be able to put in a Jude Bellingham, seamless transition. It's going to be basically like they never left. I mean, it's like Real Madrid's midfield, it's going to go from great to great. No change. It's not going to take a dip. And my only potential issue with this is if Florentino Perez doesn't make the other signings that he needs to make. Obviously, this signing, it's a great signing, but for next season, it's not one that's particularly needed. Like they would be okay in the midfield for next season if they didn't get Jude Bellingham. Now, beyond next season, this is why you're making the Jude Bellingham signing because they're going to need him for beyond next season. But my thing is next season, Real Madrid do still have a couple holes in the squad that they need to fill. And, if they're going to spend this 150 million on Jude Bellingham, Florentino Perez still has to go ahead and make the other signings. I think they still need to get another right back. I think potentially, you just said Valverde can play the wing. Do they still need to maybe sign another right winger? I don't know. Depends on that whole situation. And potentially they're going to need to get another backup goalkeeper because Lunin is going to be potentially leaving the club. So there are still signings, depth signings, and also potential a starting right back that needs to be signed. So Florentino Perez still has to make those signings, and that's my only potential issue with this signing is that Real Madrid they still have other signings to make, and potentially this might take away from that. But we know Florentino Perez; he's never been shy about spending the money. Like obviously recently he has been, but I think with the new Bernabeu opening up, I think we're gonna get back
Yeah,
to that old
especially that
the
that will
old
finally be,
Florentino.
yeah.
I think we're gonna get back to the old Florentino who isn't
What
afraid to spend the
when
money.
when they're able to finally get that big bill of the new stadium off from us, and we're able to actually open up the stadium to full capacity and be able to make, ungodly amount of money just from the stadium itself, will help out a lot. And I think Perez is going to make the moves that we have to, because that's what he does. I mean, that's what we put him in there. I mean, all those years ago when he promised us Figo, this is what this guy does. I mean,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
I may have my problems with him, but there's nothing. He's never shortened us. He's never, pinched a penny
yeah.
that bad.